Hi, I'm Mike Rast with Global Atlanta, and I'm here with Mr. Owen Lampkin, the Director of Group Intellects, one of the tenants at the Northern Ireland Science Park.
We arrived here some 5 years ago with the commission to develop the communication infrastructure for the science park. And we came up with some what we thought was innovative designs for telecommunications, namely that we brought a gigabit of connectivity into the building, providing open access and carrier neutrality. So tenants moving into the building were able to connect with any ISP or service provider they wished, so they weren't beholden to any one carrier.
And that was a big draw for a lot of tenants, is that?
It was, because if you can imagine, this building was built at the end of a disused shipyard, and how on earth would you attract corporate blue chip companies to come down and reside here? But one of the earliest tenants was Microsoft, and the reason they came in is because we had the sort of secure connectivity, and that they were happy to co-locate in a building because they could effectively partition off the telecoms that we had in here to suit their needs.
And I understand that Group Intellect is working on the European Connected Health Network?
Yes, we about 2 years ago, there was a group of us got together to discuss the idea of how we could implement a connected health program here in Northern Ireland. So there was a bunch of clinicians from various hospitals and technologists, and I was brought along with my hat in the expertise in wireless technology. So, you know, how could we take costs out of the hospitals by taking patients who had surgery and had care, bring them back into their homes and do remote monitoring. That was two years ago now, and about 6 months ago we made a big announcement that Belfast is now the European Centre of Connected Health. So a delegation of us went over to Brussels to negotiate this. They said, sounds like a great initiative to us. We've now done a deal with the health minister here to deliver a programme over the next few years, which is a £45 million contract to deliver remote monitoring services to patients across Northern Ireland.
Okay, and how do you see this connected health network benefiting Belfast as a whole?
Well, it's going to be potentially it will be a significant economic driver for Northern Ireland PLC, let alone Belfast. The idea is that we'll set up the centre here at the Northern Ireland Science Park, which will be developing a cluster of companies to come here to develop not only the technologies for delivering remote monitoring, but to look at setting the standards for remote monitoring, as well as the interoperability of technologies that will get deployed into patients' homes. So already we've attracted the who's who of the health industry to come and look and see what we're doing. There's obviously the big carrot of a major tender to go for, which has been provided by the government. But interestingly, we have a number of spin-out companies from the universities, both here in Northern Ireland and across the United Kingdom, who would like to bring their technologies to the fore, and they can only do that by going through the European Centre of Connected Health, because otherwise it's very difficult to compete with the large blue chip companies such as Siemens and HP and Philips and the likes.
When you say remote monitoring, what kind of technologies, what kind of devices are you talking about?
Well, my specific interest is on the wireless side. We are going to be deploying a technology called iBurst, which was developed in the States, in California, and was licensed out to Kyocera in Japan, who now build the equipment, the base stations and the user terminals. And the idea is that later this year, in fact August, September, we'll be activating a citywide network which will provide connectivity to the Connected Health program. So working with a number of companies, we'll be deploying devices into patients' homes. These are heart sign monitors. These will be voice networks where patients will be able to be remotely monitored. So regardless of their location within the city, it's not dependent whether they've got phone lines into their homes or they've got DSL connections. We will be bringing a wireless service into the home that provides the backhaul for the data that's been captured on these remote monitoring devices. So we're acting as the overlay network. So effectively, if you have an IP-based device, then it can interconnect to our wireless broadband service.
How has being in this specific location in the Northern Ireland Science Park helped your company to develop?
Well, originally we came for one contract, and that was to design the communications platform. And we thought this would last 6 months, but I've now been here 5 years, having moved home and family here, because effectively we realized that this was an extraordinarily happening place. Northern Ireland was coming through its troubles. It had the best part of 10 years of the peace dividend. And we saw politically that the country was going to start controlling its own destiny. We have the Assembly, which went live a year ago. And so we were able to identify a number of businesses that would like to connect to our wireless technology, the iBurst system. But from that, we started getting involved in consultancy with a wide range of technologies. From one scale, we advised on a major movie production which Lord Attenborough brought here 2 years ago, the first time Hollywood arrived in town. But they needed remote monitoring themselves. They needed to have connectivity out in locations. They needed to be able to move quickly, and our technology enabled that. And from that, we started looking at what was the possibility of Northern Ireland having an international creative campus. Could we set up a media environment where it would become a destination facility? And that led us on to looking at the development of one of the shipyard's buildings, the paint hall, which last year was hosted the film The City of Ember, produced by Tom Hanks's company, which is a major Hollywood production. And that in turn brought other technologies into the environment of the science park. And so we've been at the right place at the right time. And now the latest set of projects are based around the connected health, which have all emanated out of this one wireless system that we brought here.